myself that I had the opportunity to vote. Many other people did too. But given the outcome, I'm satisfied that we ended up with somebody who will be a very good representative for our community here and for our district. And I would like to welcome Domingo Candelas.
Hi everybody, good evening, buenas noches. I'm Domingo Candelas. I am the appointed representative for District 8. I see a lot of friends in the stands, or in the crowd. I'm appreciative to Mayor Mahan for coming out and talking to us about the budget. I'm not going to comment on his budget because I don't want to violate any Brown Act laws, because there is a very diligent process that goes on with regards to city budget making. But I wanted to introduce myself this evening and tell you I'm here for you. That's why I applied. That's why I submitted my application and my intent to be your representative. A little bit about me. I'm an Evergreen District 8 kid. I grew up, I went to John J. Montgomery Elementary School down the street, Shibuya Middle School. I went to Evergreen Valley High School, and then I went to San Jose State, where I like to tell people that I liked it so much for my undergrad, and I went back and got a graduate degree in public administration. I've been fortunate enough in my career to be able to work for really good people. I worked for State Senator Jim Bell. That's where I first met Pat, and I was his district director here for several years, almost 7 years. And there I worked with different agencies, with Caltrans. I know the mayor mentioned working with Caltrans to do litter abatements, litter removals, and homeless encampment abatements. I have that experience. I also helped on several statewide legislation campaigns to improve our roads, provide money for roads, money for housing. I have that legislative experience in my back pocket. In addition to that, I've worked at Valley Water doing government relations for the water district. And more recently, I was a director of local government affairs for Stanford University. So I come from a public service background, and my job is simple. It's going to be respond to your questions, make fair and intelligent, informed decisions, and put the public's interest first. With that, I've had a couple of community events already. I've been on the job for 28 days, 29 days, and I've done a community coffee. Thank you for those of you who attended, and then a pancake budget breakfast. So you can tell me what's important to you in the budget. And I have a litter pickup this weekend. Subscribe to my newsletter. If you haven't already, go to the District 8 website. I put a lot of stuff on Facebook, on social media, on my newsletter. I'm here to serve, and I'm humbly willing and able. I have an open door policy. So if you want a meeting, feel free to reach out to my office. I'll leave business cards in the back. And I also have a community coffee with the police chief coming up at East Ridge Mall. I've already confirmed with the chief, and he's going to come out on a Friday from 10 to noon, so we can hear your concerns and make sure that we're listening and working for you. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I wanted to introduce myself formally, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer questions. And again, I'll leave my card, so if anybody wants to reach out and talk to me about an issue, I'm here for you. So thank you for having me and inviting me. And yeah, have a good evening. Question? Go ahead, Beth. Oh, yeah, go ahead. You have a question in the front?
Yeah, so I think public safety is a really big issue for everybody. The mayor talked about this improving the app, the 311 app, and it seems to me that's what we really need for the police department too. It's something on the app that can increase maybe some passive interaction on public safety issues. But I think the bigger issue is it's not getting more police necessarily. Police officers, we will need more police officers, that's true. But to me, it seems like there needs to be more public interactions and there's issues to prevent crime. You see all these things on Nextdoor.com and people stealing petty crime, stealing things. We even had here people, they stand in front of the camera, smile as if they're on the movie screen, and waving at you, because they know very well there's nothing going to happen. And I'm just, in terms of public safety issues, I think dealing with things that we get the public involved to really prevent this kind of stuff would be a real boon, because it's the neighbor working with the neighbor and talking with people that, to me, it helps to build a culture when you don't do that kind of stuff.
So that's a great point, and I think empowering our residents to talk to our neighbors, and there's also a good program on the camera. Where I think the city, I know that the city of San Jose, and specifically our police department, is revamping our camera program where individual residents can register their camera, so the PD has access to, or no, not access, knowledge that there is that you have a camera in your front door, and so when there's a crime committed, they can reach out to you. They can't tap in your camera, they're not going to be looking, but they can call you and say, hey, your neighbor across the street had a burglary. Can we take a look at your cameras? And they will reach out. And they've revamped the program, so it's a little bit more efficient and it's a little bit more streamlined. So that's something that we're rolling out in the next couple of weeks, and I'm pretty sure we have it live already. Am I right, Captain? I'll let you talk.
I did talk to them earlier about it.
All right, perfect. So that's something that I'm excited about, because I talked to some residents earlier today that at the beginning of the month they had maybe 2 or 3 cameras registered in their neighborhood. From what I heard, it's upwards of 28 now. So that's more resources where we can collaborate, and the police force doesn't have to spend 10 days finding 4 or 5 cameras. They can do it in a day or two to piece together the case. So I'm excited about that. But definitely, community building is going to be a key piece to that. And that's how we deter crime. Oh, 2 questions. Go ahead.
I would like to know how can we get businesses to come to Evergreen and stay and support our local businesses. Like right now we have 4 dollar stores, which I don't think we really need 4, which the stores that I want to go to are at Cottle or Pruneyard, or I have to go someplace else to either go out for a dinner, or go to a different store. If I do anything in Evergreen, it takes me twice as long, because this store's over here and this store's over here. Where if I go to Cottle, I can do an hour errands and come back home. So I think the planning of Evergreen, the businesses and the fund, needs to be looked at.
Yeah, thank you for that comment. I'm actually working it's funny, I'm working with our economic development department to try to strategize around working with our business association, with San Jose Chamber of Commerce, to see how we can incentivize or do something to fill some vacant storefronts. I know Evergreen Village Square has a couple vacancies. I know there's a couple vacancies across the way in that shopping center, but we have to tap our business community, our chambers, and our business associations to be able to incentivize something here. So I completely agree, and I intend to work on that.
I also noticed we have a lot of historic information and a lot of history around here, and nobody even knows about it. And it's like we're not acknowledging our heritage of Evergreen, why we're all here. I mean, we got aviation history over in the hills behind Evergreen College. We have Mount Hamilton, a lot of pioneers came through our neighborhoods, wineries, historic wineries, and there's nothing that shows how our area, how beautiful it is.
Yeah, as a John J. Montgomery, the father of gliding, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go someplace else, like you have to go to Cupertino to go to the planetarium. I didn't even know we had an open planetarium here. I'm always in the car going someplace else, except not Evergreen.
Steve,
Thank you. Our subject's Cunningham Park. According to the ranger, all those rangers have quit. has been open every day for the last 45 years. Since the pandemic, they took 2 days off for Thanksgiving, they closed their doors, 2 days off for Christmas, 2 days more basket leave on New Year's. They've opened at sunup for the last 4 years. Now I've seen the gates closed at 9. The ranger claims there's only one. They don't patrol it anymore. They hung out at Elmont Park. I've been to the Rose Garden at Christmas. Those gates are wide open. Everybody's in there. Yeah, we like to have a park. I mean, 2,000 to 3,000 people a day go in there.
Yeah.
And then when it's locked, you can see all the people you turn.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Lake Cunningham, I was just at Lake Cunningham this Saturday. And
It's non-existent.
Yeah, I was visiting with Congressman Jimmy Panetta because our park, Lake Cunningham, is as awesome as it is, it's flooded on one side and there's continuous.
That's flood design, but we know that.
Right, it's a flood detention facility.
Steve, let me answer. Steve, please let me answer.
And so, but I agree. If you tell me when you saw it close, from it probably was both sides of my block. I'll have my staff members here. I'll reach out to the PRS department and find out specifically, but more like on a bigger picture with Lake Cunningham. I was there this weekend with Jimmy Panetta to talk about how we can bring more investment from either the federal government or other to try to revitalize Lake Cunningham because the water quality is pretty bad. For those of us who like to go in the summer, it smells pretty bad in the summer because of the algae bloom. And so that's an issue that I care deeply about because I grew up going to Lake Cunningham. I still go to Lake Cunningham. And I see the underinvestment in Lake Cunningham, and it's actually coming before the council next Tuesday on the 14th. An item specifically to the water quality in Lake Cunningham. So keep a lookout for an item from my office on Lake Cunningham because I intend to fight tooth and nail to make sure, A, we provide our local funding for any potential federal or state funding on that park, and it's a jewel, it's a community jewel, and I value it, and I want to make sure it's not only open to the residents, but for future generations as well.
And there's some marina that I've been underutilized, and that could be business growing there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's closed because of the water quality.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's a
Awesome.
What are some of the goals that you have as an consumer for this topic?
Yeah, no, thank you. My top priority is to make sure I am accessible, that the residents have somebody to call if a street light is out. And we can do 311, but a lot of folks don't have, the time or the bureaucratic know-how to type in a 311. It takes a little bit of time to create a login. And so my job is to be your representative, be accessible, do constituent services, and community engagement. That's my top priority as a council member for the residents of District 8. Yes.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you say that coffee, TV coffee, monthly leases?
Yeah. I've had a community coffee 2 weeks ago. I already have my next one scheduled. It's on the 24th. It's a Friday from 10 to noon at Eastridge Mall. I think I have flyers in the room. I think my staff's giving out flyers. And then this Saturday, I'm partnering with the mayor to do a cleanup at Walsh Park on a beautification event. So I'm doing dumpster days. I'm doing a trash talks with the council member at Bogini Park. So if anybody wants to come out and talk to me while cleaning up, it's trash talks with your council member. So I'd love to have you all there. That is on the 18th. I'll have, if you're signed up to my newsletter or my website, it's there. It's a Saturday, not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday.
This Saturday is a what?
Yeah, not this Saturday, but the next one.
Oh, next Saturday.
Yeah, the next, the 18th.
Rosa.
Absolutely. I'm fully
more question? Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Ah,